All right, for the second part of segment 2 today, Heathen Dog has promised us Prometheans. Why are they so important slash powerful slash weirdos, whatever they happen to be? Well, guess what? It is a racial character class. That means you could be a Promethean in the game. Is that good? Is that bad? We're about to find out right now as Heathen Dog talks to us about Promethean racial character class.
All right. Now, if you're going to understand anything about Phase World and Center and the galaxy in general, you have to understand what the Promethean R.C.C is. The Prometheans are an ancient and mysterious race. You're going to understand why in a minute. Their large size, second stage, and stone-like hides give them a brutish, intimidating appearance. But these looks are deceiving. The Prometheans have one of the highest IQ averages in 3 galaxies, surpassed only by a strictly telepathic race. Your wife.
So they cheat. So the telepathic race cheats.
Yeah.
Okay.
More importantly, these massive humanoids are the only race that has mastered phase technology and the only sentient race that can step out of phase naturally without the use of this technology. What does that mean? Don't worry, we're going to get to it. First, we have to talk about the 2 stages of Prometheans. One of them is an R.C.C that you can play. The other is one that you cannot.
But I want to.
If you become the second stage, you also become an NPC. I'm going to get to why. Prometheans have 2 stages of development. First stage Prometheans are what most people think of when they talk about the members of the race. Big, blocky humanoids, kind of like The Thing from the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
All right. Humanoids with enormous intelligence and strange powers. However, they're only the immature individuals of the race.
The larva state.
Children, like the elders. The elders are second stage Prometheans. They are giants, averaging over 30 feet tall. They are rarely seen in public and never outside of Phase World. Their way of thinking is completely alien to most races. It is believed that they are able to project their consciousness into several universes at the same time and that they are in communication with 4 or 5 dimensional beings at any given moment. They are completely beyond your understanding.
So wait. Why can't I be one?
Because they are completely beyond human understanding, and you're a human being. You can't do it.
Oh.
You can't do it. You can't play one. Nobody seems to know what their goals are. I'll give you a hint. Don't worry. A few people have started cults that either worship the second stage Prometheans as gods or damn well as demons. Well, you know what?
I don't want to do that. No. If they own this place, I am not damning them as a demon. No.
You let them be. You let them be. All right. They have the power of gods, so you don't want to mess with them. The Prometheans ignore both the worshipers and the persecutors because they don't care. You can't hurt them. You can't do anything against them. You are beneath their concern. Let that sink in. Nobody knows for sure how long Prometheans live. It's a long time. There are no recorded cases of a second stage Promethean dying from old age in the known history of 3 galaxies. Many believe that Prometheans are true immortals, vulnerable only to accidents and violence. Others think that these creatures are very long-lived, but they die eventually. Now, to put this in scope, supernatural intelligences, Splugorth, Old One, not the great old ones, but old ones, stuff like that. They have around a 250,000 year life cycle. They live for about 250,000 years.
Drop in the bucket.
So even if one were to die, there's no one around who could actually mark that as happening. Prove it. The person who saw him last is probably long dead now.
Now you know why transdimensional TMNT exists.
There you go. All right. Let's see here. Otherwise, Prometheans would have overrun the entire universe long ago. Since the second stage Prometheans volunteer no information about themselves, none of these rumors can be proven. Well, yeah, I mean, they don't talk to you. You're beneath their notice. So they're not going to tell you anything. It's not like they subject themselves to lowest lane level interviews. No, they don't care what you care about. They don't. They have other concerns, multi-dimensional concerns that you can't fathom. So why even talk to you? It's worthless. Now, here's the first stage Promethean. These ones are player characters. First stage Prometheans are large humanoids, 7 to 10 feet, with barrel-shaped chests, thick limbs, and round heads. Their grayish purple skins are coarse with consistency and hardness of stone. Their mouths are little more than thin slits, and their eyes are solid black beads. Prometheus, yeah, you're going to see a picture of them later on. Their mouths are little more than thin slits. Yeah, okay. Prometheans have no noses, but they don't need to breathe, so who cares? They draw air through their mouths only to speak. They can survive in the vacuum of space, unaided by any breathing apparatus or vacuum suit, and are invulnerable to most environmental hazards, including radiation and toxins. Well, toxic.
So how are these player characters?
Hang on, we're getting there. The immature Prometheans, first stage, are actually as intelligent as adults of most sentient races. They are roughly human size and appear to have no genders as we understand them, because that's not part of their life cycle. They don't know much about their second stage elders, but instead of trying to understand what they will become, they seek to learn as much as they can about the rest of the universe while they're here. First stage Prometheans are expected to experience as many different situations as possible before moving on to the second stage. That is important, because you have to understand the universe you're in to understand the multiple universes you're going to fathom later on. So you need to have a solid base to jump off from to be godlike beings.
Also, intelligent people realize that experience breeds wisdom. So
yes. All right. And Prometheans become eligible to enter their second stage of development after reaching 10th level and attaining the appropriate good alignment. Good alignment. Any of the good alignments it will do, but you have to be good, and then you can ascend. To do so, they must pass a test to determine their maturity. This test will almost always involve a quest of some sort, either somewhere in the 3 galaxies or someplace in the megaverse. The multiple dimensions, phase world and center itself is a multi-dimensional hub. So the second stage Prometheans could send you off to, Palladium Fantasy World, or send you to Heroes Unlimited World, or Beyond the Supernatural World, whatever.
It's this quest that makes them never want to leave center once they become second stage. They're like, man, that sucked. I'm bad. Traumatized.
Many of these tests are dangerous and may have important consequences for other people. In some cases, the test has involved saving an entire planet from a plague, an invasion, or some other disaster. Prometheans undergoing the test can secure help from other beings, including younger Prometheans. An adventure or even a campaign could revolve around a group of player characters trying to help a Promethean pass the test of maturity. Some refuse to take the test. There's no stigma attached. You don't want it. You don't got to have it. No one's forcing you.
You don't want it. We don't want you to have it.
Exactly. You don't want it, then you don't get it. There you go. If any case, the character can always change his mind at any point in the future. Elders make the assumption that if a young Promethean does not want to take the test, you're simply not ready for it and you should wait. Okay. Great. Now, these first stage Prometheans are special because they're MDC, but they're not.
Okay.
Let's explain that. These are your stats. As you can see, 3d6 plus 10, 3d4 plus 10. These are not normal. They just run human beings up and down the schoolyard, just beating the shit out of them, taking their lunch money.
I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, because right now this is too powerful for a player character.
Hang on, here we go. MDC none, but C natural abilities. Here we go. SDC / hit points. 1d6 times 100 SDC and PE times 5 hit points. Add 2d6 hit points per level of experience. Also, the Prometheans' unique phase powers protects them from most MDC attacks. MD attacks inflict only 1 SDC point per MD point. SDC weapons do half damage. That means they auto-convert MDC to SDC damage because of their natural phase ability.
Where's the other shoe?
There is no other shoe. This is not a race I would allow people to play. This is not a race. Lifespan unknown, at least several thousand years. That's their immature. They can last several thousand years and never ascend.
I've been thinking about if I want to take this maturity test since, I don't know, your Roman Empire.
Natural abilities. Doesn't breathe air and immune to radiation, normal heat, fire, cold, gases, and disease. That's a lot of immunities. Can see in total darkness and have eagle-like normal vision. In Palladium, eagle-like normal vision is you can read something the size of a stop sign at 2 miles away. That's eagle eye, normal vision. Phased bodies. The Prometheans are in a permanent state of phase. This means the energies of most weapons are harmlessly dispersed as they pass through the bodies. This dispersal is directly proportional to the energy of the weapon. Hurting a Promethean is equally easy or hard with an archaic SDC sword as an MD laser. Mega damage attacks inflict only 1 SDC per MD point, while SDC weapons do half damage. So they can easily go to non-magic worlds and still be fine. Still be better than everybody around them. And not like they need it. You saw the stats, right?
You know that I don't care about that weird concept called game balance, right? Like I think it's asinine to worry about things like game balance. But at the same time, there are certain things. I really like to know how you justify. I mean, is Phase World itself that much more powerful? Where if everything you played was on the Phase World book, that this would make more sense? Or is this just no? It's just really because like Violence Sells Everything. He's like, I like the Wolf and Lawmen, so obviously there's some things in here that could be interesting.
Yes, there are normal type races, but there's also the Cosmo Knights. There's also the Phantoms, stuff like that are like, whoa, this is a bridge too far. But the first stage Promethean and the Cosmo Knight, they're kind of neck and neck with what are you doing here? Like, why is this happening? So, yeah, I would not allow a player to play a first stage Promethean. I wouldn't. Just like I wouldn't allow a player to play a Cosmo Knight unless everyone was. It's kind of like the whole Star Wars thing. You're either all Jedi or you're not, or no one is, because that ruins game balance. These guys kind of do the same thing. Plus, they have phase teleportation. Prometheans can step out of phase and travel at incredible speeds in an intangible state. This is equivalent of teleportation, not really, but equivalent, because a phased character can only travel in a straight line and only for a second or two. Concentration takes 1 melee round and is the only action they can perform. Chance of success is 50% plus 4% per level of experience. A failed roll means the teleport does not occur. Passengers, vehicles, and large amounts of equipment cannot be teleported along with the Promethean. 1 mile per level of experience. That's in a round. You can travel a mile per level of experience almost instantly. It's like stepping across the room. You're going miles. See dimensional anomalies. Because of their phase powers, they can see alterations in space-time. Can automatically detect rifts, dimensional envelopes and pockets, fourth dimensional and two-dimensional beings, astral travelers, and the invisible energy essence of alien intelligences and entities. Range 1 mile or line of sight, whichever is less. So in space, you can see further. Yeah, look out the window. Oh, crap. There you go. And they ley line phase like a ley line walker. Awesome. This is what they look like.
Yep, there you go, Rockman.
Yep. Psionic powers. Empathy, telepathy,
they have
psionic powers as well. Yeah, sorry about that. Empathy, telepathy, total recall, mind block, auto defense are automatic to all Prometheans. Plus any 3 powers from healing, sensitive, or physical. Add 1 more power from any of these 3 categories every level after the first.
What?
Yes.
Well, at least it's not super psychic.
Yes, they don't get any. Well, these guys don't. ISP, ME times 5 plus 10 per level. Considered a master sign. No kidding.
Oh, of course.
Magic powers varies. Some Prometheans pursue temporal magic, becoming either temporal wizards or time masters. These are OCCs that are explained later on. But most of them disdain the study of magic. I don't know why. We got phase powers and psionics who you don't need it. It's not like you disdain it. It's like not necessary. Prometheans can use temporal magic spells, but no normal spells, instead of their R.C.C. related or secondary skills. So if you give up your related skills and your secondary skills, you can use temporal magic instead. You can now get all the temporal wizard abilities. Okay, awesome. Only about 5% of all first stage Prometheans bother learning spells, and only 1% dedicate themselves full time to the pursuit of magic. See the Promethean Time Master OCC. Phase powers. Prometheans can also study and deepen their knowledge of phase powers, which is what many do. Each phase power learned in this way counts as an other or secondary skill, just as spells. See above. Up to 4 phase powers can be learned this way, but no more powers can be learned or purchased past this point, unless you are a Promethean phase adept RCC. See, there are different RCCs depending on if you specialize in magic as a Promethean or psionics as a Promethean or neither. This is the neither. This is the jack of all trades, master of none RCC. Then you can delve into the phase adept or Promethean temporal wizard. Prometheans have supernatural strength, inflict mega damage with their punches and kicks.
I'm immune to mega
bonuses.
damage, but I deal mega damage.
Yes. Automatic bonuses are +1 initiative, +6 save versus magic, +3 versus sonics, +6 versus horror factor. These are all in addition to attributes and skill bonuses. Vulnerabilities, phase tech weapons inflict double damage and magic does full damage.
That's there's the disdain.
That's their only minus.
No, that explains the disdain though, right there. Yes. Of magic, because that's the one thing that
does full damage.
Yep.
Yep. So that is your generic first stage Promethean. There's the phase adept and the time master.
Oh, of course.
Phase mystic. And we're going to second stage Promethean. Okay.
Wait, does that guy look dejected? Can you just go back up a second? Did he just fail his test?
He could have failed this test. He could have failed this test. And Daddy is not pleased.
Does Daddy even care?
Well, he cares that he failed because that's one less second stage Promethean he can count as a brother. Okay, here we go. Non-player characters. So if you become a second stage Promethean as a first stage, give your character sheet to the game master and wave goodbye.
And it says it in the right there in the book. It's not like Heathen Dog's making this up saying you shouldn't do it. It's right there. Non-player characters.
You can't. When a Promethean passes the test of maturity, he walks into one of the initiation temples, one of 6 on Phase World. Some never come back out. Those that do are transformed physically and mentally. Their old personalities become a fading echo and are replaced by an alien way of thinking. Second stage Prometheans are similar to elementals and other alien beings in that their morality and principles have little in common with everyone else. They are on literally higher planes of existence than you now. Your troubles and foibles and whatever problems or things you aspire to don't matter in their now increasingly grand scheme of things. You don't matter anymore. Friends, lovers. I had a wife. Well, he doesn't care anymore. Doesn't care anymore. I had people I was adventuring with for 100 years. He doesn't care about you anymore. He's gone. Version 2.0 is here. And you don't give a squirt of piss about it.
But we helped you with your damn quests. We got you to this point.
Thanks a lot. Piss off now. Actually, no. You know what? He would probably give all of his worldly possessions to his group that helped him because he doesn't need it anymore. That's fair. For instance, the rulers of Phase World permit all kinds of criminal activity to occur on Center, including slavery, drug trafficking, kidnapping, and extortion. Only the areas directly under the Prometheans' control are free of such activities. Either the second stage Prometheans don't care about the victims who suffer, or they choose not to interfere for some unknown reason. I'm going with one. They don't care.
And that answers your question, Mar Hockman.
Cool. Second stage Promethean are fearsome creatures. They double or triple in size, 15 to 30 feet tall. Their speed and agility are reduced, but their rock-like bodies become incredibly tough, making them full mega damage beings. Looking at a second stager for more than a few minutes can be unsettling because their form seems to change in subtle ways. Color starts fluctuating. They seem to get bigger, smaller. As you're looking at them, it gives you a headache. They are in multiple dimensions at the same time, so their aspect keeps changing. It makes them creepy. They're not
already had a horror factor of 10 with the first stage. What's the horror factor here? 50?
We're going to find out. Second stagers rarely become involved in the affairs of the Megaverse. When they do, it means some danger of cosmic significance is at large. They are distrusted and feared by many of the other great powers of the Megaverse. The Splugorth hate these beings, but all direct attacks against the Prometheans have failed miserably.
Wow.
Because you are a three-dimensional being, but I'm a supernatural intelligence. Yes, you are, and that makes you very powerful to other three-dimensional beings. You get 4, 5, and 6 dimensions, you're an ant. You are a nothing. Something to be squashed and forgotten about. Splugorth hate that. They hate that because they think of themselves as the greatest thing since sliced bread. Instead, the Splugorth have decided to maintain a facade of diplomacy. Dude, whatever you got to tell yourself to sleep at night. All right? You're not a threat to them. Let it go. While trying to subtly sabotage and undermine the Giants. You can't. They're playing 5D chess. You're playing 2D chess. You lose. A few gods and supernatural beings are on good terms with the Prometheans. Zarva, who is a fourth or fifth dimensional being himself. Brahma, who is all the gods in the Indian pantheon all at once. Those two beings are on par with the Prometheans. Those two beings, and maybe a couple others who are similar, I can't think of right now. Note, second stage Prometheans are meant to be NPC race. Their power and alien nature make them unfit as player characters. Alignment, unknown. Unknown.
First stage Prometheans were unfit as player characters too.
Yeah. And first stage Prometheans, to take the test, have to be good alignment. But second stage Prometheans, no one knows because you can't understand them anymore. How do you gauge morality of something that you can't even understand their morality anymore? You can't. It's unknowable. Attributes. Use the first stage Promethean, but add the following bonuses directly to their attribute. +2 IQ, ME, MA, PS, +1d6 to that. -2 to physical prowess, +1 to PE, -1 physical beauty, -1d6 to speed. Still all supernatural beings. MDC 46 times 100.
Whoa!
That seems crappy, right?
Well, no, because average is 1400. What does Splugorth get?
Oh, they get thousands, tens of thousands of MDC.
Oh, okay.
Tens of thousands. So how are these? Well, hang on. We're getting there. We're getting there. Horror factor 14. That's because they're crazy to look at. Average lifespan, just say forever. Just say forever. Just say forever. Natural abilities. Don't need to breathe air, immune to radiation, normal heat, fire, cold, gas, disease, and normal first stage stuff. Eagle eye, normal vision, fine. Total darkness, fine. Okay. Phased bodies. Prometheans are in a permanent state of phase. The energies of most weapons are harmlessly dispersed. Second stage Prometheans are totally impervious to SDC weapons, and other attacks do only 1/4 damage. Even magical and psionic attacks are affected by this power and do half damage. So, under normal circumstances, they have quadruple MDC. So you're going 46 times 100. Yeah. So average that is 10
1400.
1400. So quadruple that. And that's what they have normally. Double it for magic and psionics.
Yeah. The one thing I did notice with that is they do seem to lose a little bit of resistance to MDC because before it was SDC, but only 1 point.
No. It was MDC is transferred to SDC on a 1-for-1 basis.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood that. All right.
Yeah, it was the 1-for-1. So if you got hit with an MDC plasma, when it hit their bodies, it would do that many damage in SDC.
Okay. I misunderstood.
So they are stronger. Phase teleport. Prometheans can step out of phase just like their younger siblings. This is the equivalent of teleportation. Concentration to 1 round. Range 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
1 step, 1,000 miles. Chance of success 88%. Plus whatever level of experience they are from being a first stage. Remember, you have to be at least 10th level to become a second stage. So that is 98%. Guess what? That's the max. Bare minimum, they have a 98% chance to succeed. Yay. So they're probably going to do it. Second stage Prometheans can travel to other dimensions without opening rifts or using dimensional gates. This power is limited to places, dimensions known by or previously visited by the character, even when he was first stage. That's why they want to get you the experience. That's why the Prometheans are on Phase World. It's an interdimensional hub. The more places you go as a first stage Promethean, the more places you can go to as a second stage Promethean automatically. Sense dimensional anomalies, same thing, 1 mile. Ley line phasing, same thing. Experience level, first stage, minimum 10th level, and then you gain level as a second stage per dragon experience.
That makes
psionic
sense.
powers, you know all sensitive, physical, and healing powers. Plus, you get to choose 4 supersonic powers and learn a new one every level after your first level. ISP, triple what you had as a first stager. Remember, you're minimum level 10. So triple that. Magic powers, only if you learn them as a first stager. Phase powers, all of them. All of them. Just all of them. Combat, your first stage abilities at level 10. You don't gain any more because you don't fight as a 3-dimensional being anymore. Okay? You don't really do that anymore. So you don't really gain more knowledge as a second stager in that area. Alliances and allies. Second stage Prometheans are an important force in the megaverse, but they rarely use their powers to interfere with others. They are on good terms with Zervan, the Persian god of time, and with the ruler of the Indian Brahma. Like I said, they may be involved in the efforts to contain a number of powerful evil intelligence, such as the Old Ones. They are. The second stage Prometheans, part of their job is to keep the great Old Ones imprisoned in the Palladian fantasy universe. Zarvan and Brahma do the same thing. They expend hundreds of thousands of PPE every 6 months or so, keeping those spells active. If those immortal, primordial alien intelligence ever get out, they have millions of MDC. They will run rampant, destroying galaxy after galaxy. They've been enslaved so long, they will go insane and just destroy everything. One universe at a time. That can't happen. So they help stop that from happening. And that is the Promethean race. Now, is it a player? No. But first stage you can play. I wouldn't allow it. I don't recommend any game master allow your at least your first run through on Phase World to be a Promethean.
So answer this then. Why did you feel that the Prometheans were important to talk about? What specifically was?
They are integral to Phase World. The reason Phase World is free is because of the Prometheans.
Yeah.
The Splugorth would have conquered it long ago, if not for the Promethean race.
Okay.
All right, what do we got for comments?
I only started one.
Okay.
That was this one. I don't get why people think that Rifts is too gonzo and only attracts toxic jerks. Well, I don't know about the toxic side, but yeah.
But it's definitely gonzo a lot of times. Yeah, Rifts is meant to be that way, though. It's meant to be over the top. And Phase World, like I said, is the hold my beer reference to like how over the top can you get from Rifts? Well, this over the top.
I mean, Dan says something that you kind of said before. An all Promethean party could be fun. I mean, if you're doing that as the whole...
Exactly. Yeah. Like I said, if it's all Promethean, fine. But one Promethean, it's going to get weird because everyone's going to be second fiddle.
And I said it before, but I'll say it again. Violence Solves Everything said that he likes the Wolf and Lawman.
Okay. Well, if you throw it in the comments in this thing and I want to see the Wolf and Lawman, like, then I'll do it.